So I gave birth without my emergency bag. Yes, so as much as this sounds funny, it's actually true. I'm making this video for women like myself, especially first time moms who are still expecting their babies, to take note of it, because these are common mistakes, or this is a common mistake that I have discovered that it is very common among first time expecting moms. If this is a video that you're interested in, then grab a seat and sit down and let's talk. And don't forget to subscribe. If it is your first time watching my videos, if this is your first time on my channel, you're welcome. My name is Ebane Raisa and I'm a Cameroon content creator based in Limbe, the southwest region of Cameroon. So let's get right into the video. Now let's backtrack the story. How did it happen that I had my baby, I went to the hospital to give birth without my emergency bag? Is it that I forgot my emergency bag at home? Or is it that I didn't buy anything for my baby at all in preparation for my delivery? Or is it that I didn't know my due date? Or is it that I forgot my due date? Or is it that I had my baby before my due date? Now all of this I'm going to answer in this video. When I got pregnant, I went to the hospital. I did my antenatal from the very beginning. I did everything. I went for my regular checkups. I went for my regular ultrasound checkups as well. I was given 3 different due dates, but towards the end of my pregnancy, I was given the final due date. I held on to it because that was what the ultrasound showed. So normally, when the ultrasound shows you that this is the day you're likely to give birth, you have to center your mind around that particular date, either 1 week before or 1 week after. But I didn't do so. So I just centered my mind on that particular day. Okay, I had my baby on 11 February 2024 at exactly 12 a.m. I was given my EDD, my last EDD, on the 10th of February. December 2023, I went for Christmas break. That time I was about 7 months pregnant, 7 months or so thereabout. I had already bought everything I needed. I had bought my baby things, and as a first time mom with all the excitement, Dada, can I talk? As a first time mom with all the excitement in preparation for my baby, I had even packed my hospital bag and I showed my mom-in-law where everything was. If you see the big bag that I packed to carry to the hospital, hey God, I packed my hospital bag, prepared everything. The second EDD date that was given to me was the 25th of February. So I was clinging to that 25th because that's my husband's birthday. So I was just hoping and praying to God that actually I give birth on that actual date, on that particular date, so that both of them will have the same birthday and his birth will be like a birthday present to him. I had packed my hospital bag and showed my mom-in-law where everything was, in hopes that when we come back to Limbe that January, by mid-February, I'll be going back to go and give birth. So I packed everything and I showed my mom-in-law where everything was, and I told her, okay, when I'll come back to give birth, when it's time for us to go to the hospital, this one is here, this one is here, so that we'll not be looking for things. I don't know if you've watched Be Careful with My Heart. You see the way Maya and the family members were actually preparing for her birth. That's exactly what I did with my mom-in-law. We packed everything. She came, asked me where I kept this, where I kept the emergency thing. She was like directing me on what to do, directing me on how to pack the bag. Mind you, I had already packed my bag. She came and she was correcting me on what to put and what not to put and things like that. So we arranged everything, and I told her, okay, when we are in the hospital, in case we need something, we need this kind of thing, this is where it is. I showed her everything. So when we're about coming, my mom-in-law told me to carry my hospital bag and put in the car, so that, well, in fact, from this time from henceforth, wherever I'm going to, wherever I'm traveling to, I should travel with my hospital bag. I told her, no, my due date is on the 25th of December. It's still far. By then I must have come back. My mom called me and told me to pack my hospital bag and put in the car to be ready at any time. Always be ready for my baby, so that I wouldn't be embarrassed. I told her, no, and the due date is still far. This is just January. Before February, mid-February comes, I must have come back already. I didn't listen. And this is one of the reasons why I'm actually making this video, so that this mistake that I made, new expectant mothers will not make the same mistake, because it is a very embarrassing situation. So we came back, and I continued with my normal life. On the 9th of February, I was already preparing to go back. I started feeling pains, but I didn't know it was contraction. You know, when they say that most first pregnancies, the woman doesn't actually know that she's actually in labor. They only know when they see the bloody show. Now, in my case, I didn't see any bloody show. I didn't see anything. So on the 9th of February, I started having contractions. I didn't know they were actually contractions. I was telling my husband that no, it's cramp, that I'm feeling cramp, I'm having cramp. So we thought maybe it's just normal cramp. We slept it off. On the 10th of February, the cramping became worse. We went to the hospital that morning, early in the morning. They checked me, and the doctor said, no, I'll give birth by the following week, that I'm not dilated, my cervix is still closed. I don't know if it was a mistake or what. So we came back to the house. My husband left me at home and went to work. As time went on, the contractions became worse. It was increasing. At that time, to me, I was calling it cramps. The cramps became worse. I called my husband. He rushed back home, and when they first of all told us that no, I'll give birth by the following week, we were happy, because I knew that okay, 11 February is the next day, and we know in the southwest region of Cameroon, on the 11th of February, there's always lockdown. From maybe around the 9th, 10th of February, there's already lockdown. So we were preparing that after the 11th of February, that's when we will go down to where I'm supposed to give birth. So when they told us that okay, I'll give birth by the following week, we were actually happy, because we knew that by then the lockdown must have been over. So I called my husband back. He came back home. So I told him we should go back to the hospital, that it might be labor. I called my doctor. He told me I might give birth that same day. I said no, this cannot be true, because I don't have any single baby stuff here, apart from 2 frock wears that I bought a few days ago. So I called my mom to actually confirm with my mom. My mom told me, my mom just started packing her things to come to Limbe. Hey God. And I'm like, this is just cramp. Maybe I'll just go back to the hospital. They'll admit me, give me some injections to reduce the pain. But no, my mom told me this is labor. I told my mom, but I'm not seeing any bloody show. There's no sign that it is labor. My water has not broken. My mom told me it doesn't happen like that for everybody. I called my mother-in-law. I told her this is the way I'm feeling. She just started praying over the phone. That day, I kept on searching signs for labor. But most of the signs that I was seeing there were not what I was experiencing. So my husband and I, we kept on saying, no, it is not labor. My mom was already on her way coming. The doctor told me to go to the hospital. But when the thing started picking me, my brothers and my sisters, I started speaking and praying in tongues. So I now downloaded this contraction app. I started monitoring my contraction. Luckily, okay, and when the pains became worse, my husband told me that I want to disgrace him. That he had told me to go to Kumba, because that's where I planned to give birth. He had told me to go there earlier, but I refused, all in the name of my due date is still far. That if I try and give birth in this Limbe without baby stuff, I should know that I'm going to embarrass us, not me, not him alone. I'm going to embarrass us. So when we noticed that the contractions were getting worse, I started preparing to go to the hospital. But then this was now the big question: where is my hospital bag? Where is my emergency bag? Brothers and sisters, there was confusion in the land. There was confusion in the kingdom of the Sonne Meles. There was confusion in the kingdom that day. So as God would have it, remember the 2 frog wears I said I bought a few days before. Luckily, the woman whom I bought the frog wears from, she gave me her card, and that day when she was giving me her card, I almost rejected the card. In fact, I rejected the card. She insisted that I take the card, so I just took the card and threw it in my handbag. That day, come and see us scattering the house, ransacking the entire room, searching for the card. When we finally saw it, I called the woman, and this, mind you, this was already about 7:30 in the evening. I called the woman and she picked, and I told her this is how I am feeling. She said, no, this is label. I told her I don't have any baby items here. All my things, I had sent them to Kumba where I'm supposed to give birth. So I don't have anything here, and this label has just caught me unawares because we were waiting for the 11th of February to pass before we now travel down to Kumba. But now as it is, I have fallen into labor and we don't have any baby things apart from the 2 frog wears and 2 hose, that's leggings, that I bought from her. That's how this woman, God being so kind and faithful, this woman just gathered things and put in her car, and she was already closing for the day. She said she doesn't even know what made her stay till that time. So she gathered everything. She gathered a lot of emergency things and just put in her bag, everything, diapers and so on. So pause. I'm going to make another video after this one. I'm going to make a video giving the exact things that we need in our emergency bag. So watch out for that video, so that we are not going to pack so many things in her emergency bag. So that's how she carried things in her, put in her car. We just took my wrapper. I was wearing my kaba. We just took my wrapper, put in the bag my hospital book and some cash, and that was all. That was all. This was already about 8 p.m. We rushed to the hospital. While we were on the way going to the hospital, we could not still believe it that it was labor, because to me, I still had that mindset that my due date is on the 25th. So why should I be giving birth 1 week, about 10 days or 15 days before? So we got to the hospital. The nurses, the midwives on duty that night, they were so kind. In fact, it's like God just placed them there that day for me, because the kind of petting and pampering that He gave me that day, God. Even till now, I don't think I have that fear or phobia for labor. So we got to the hospital. They checked me and they said I was already dilating. They sent me outside and told me to keep on walking up and down. By then my mom had already arrived. My husband was helping me walking up and down, doing little sports, but I won't say I actually did that much sport, because the walk and walking that I did all through my pregnancy was just enough for me. They checked me, my brothers and sisters, and the nurse told me I am just 5 centimeters dilated. Was it 5? Yes, 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters dilated. And the amount of pain I was feeling at that moment, that they're telling me I'm just 5 centimeters dilated. It was not up to 5 centimeters. She told me I was about 3 centimeters dilated. Remind me, when I first came, they checked me, they said I was 2 centimeters dilated. Then after about an hour or two, they're telling me I'm just 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. How? And the pain was so excruciating to a point that I called the doctor. I said, doctor, if this pain that I'm feeling now, I'm just at 3 to 4 centimeters dilated, even 5 centimeters, then I'm not sure I'll go through with this labor. I want to go in for CS. He said, okay, they should go and call for the other doctor to prepare himself for the C-section. They should call for my husband to come and sign the necessary document. I said, yes, so I am tired. What kind of pain is this at 3 centimeters, 3 to 4 centimeters, and I'm feeling this kind of pain? Then it means before I'll get to 10 centimeters, I calculated everything in my head, and I was really like, so I told the doctor, prepare me for CS. So before they started preparing, and the doctor said, okay, he should do one last check. He checked me. My brothers and sisters, lo and behold, I was 8 centimeters dilated, almost 9 centimeters dilated. Which means the first nurse that checked me last did not check me well, because most of them they had students on internship. So I'm sure one of them was a student. I'm sure the last person that checked me was a student, so she didn't really know how to check. So I was already on 8 centimeters going to 9 centimeters, and she was saying I was 3 centimeters going to 4 centimeters dilation. So when the doctor checked me, I was already 9 centimeters. He burst my water, and that was how I gave birth to my baby. I think about 15 minutes later, I gave birth to him. The major reason for this video is that new mothers, expectant mothers, especially first time moms, when you're pregnant and you're approaching your due date, please prepare yourself. Please always be around where your emergency bag is, because you can be embarrassed at any time, just like I was embarrassed. So I gave birth, and then luckily this woman, I was so fortunate that this woman was willing to bring things for me in the hospital, and my mom selected the things that we needed for the emergency. You might not be as lucky as I was, or I might not even be as lucky as this the next time, because in fact I'm never even going to try this again. The main thing is that prepare yourself before. If you've been given your due date, prepare yourself for 2 weeks before the due date. Don't wait till the due date. Prepare your emergency bag. Wherever you are, your emergency bag should be there with you. The town in which you are in, your emergency bag should be there with you. If you're traveling within that period to somewhere, maybe it is a short trip, even it is 1 day's trip or 2 days trip, labor does not call for anybody, does not inform you before coming. It does not send an announcement before coming. It can come at any time. So just prepare yourself. Even you're traveling for a day or two, carry your emergency bag with you. If you can just carry the most essential things, which I'm going to make in the next video, the most essential things that you need in the labor room, or that you need for your delivery. If you are like me, if you've had an experience like me, leave it in the comment section. Explain to us what happened and how did you handle the entire situation. As for me, I am totally grateful to God that everything worked out smoothly. I would say this was a mistake on my part, but God corrected it for me. So how was your own? If you went through the same thing, or if you know someone who experienced the same situation, how did you handle it? How did you get the emergency things when it was just a dying minute? If you've been watching me till this moment, till this time, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep the conversation going, and don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up, and make sure to share the video and help me to grow this little channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Go and watch the next video now. Go and watch the next. See you in the next video. Bye guys.